Thank you very much for joining us. This is a great opportunity for us to talk about our new logistics and CPC Transport Manager Qualifications. Today we'll talk about a little bit about who we are, a bit about the qualifications, what we've done that's slightly different, how the qualifications are going to work, the testing of the qualifications, the pricing and how to sign up. So hopefully we should be able to cover most of the areas and questions that you might have. So we're going to start off, say, who are NOCN, why are we offering the quals, the two qualifications that we're going to be talking about today, which is the Level 3 Award in Managing Road Haulage Operations and the Level 3 Certificate of Professional Competence for Transport Managers for Road Haulage, testing on demand and how that's going to work and how to work with us. And obviously there'll be an opportunity for questions at the end. So a little bit about NOCN for those of you that don't currently work with us. NOCN are an educational charity and awarding organisation, and we're a group with a number of strings to our bow. So we offer a very wide range of qualifications, and we start right at the basics, so pathways and entry level 3, going right the way up to level 7 management MVQ qualifications in construction. We've got a long history of different types of qualifications. So NOCN started off with a goal to provide people with routes into work and employment and opportunities there. And over the years has developed to a large awarding organisation with the second largest awarding organisation in construction. C Skills Awards is our construction division. We offer a huge range of qualifications, around about 350 pathways in construction qualifications, from all sorts, from woodwork to steeplejacking. We also own NOCN job cards, which was set up to manage the CPCS card scheme. That's the card scheme for plant operators in the UK. You want to operate plant, you need a card in order to work on site, and we operate that scheme. And we also, as part of that, manage the scissors scaffolding card scheme. So there's around about 120, 130,000 card holders in those schemes, and we make sure that people are appropriately tested and licensed and capable of operating the machinery that they've got a ticket for. We are the largest EPAO operator, so that's the Endpoint Assessment Organisation. We offer more standards in the new apprenticeship trailblazers than any other provider in the UK. Got a huge range there, from construction to nursing to finance, across a wide number of sectors, and we've been very successful in gaining a lot of those standards, which is great news. We also have our SiteRight offering, which are standardised, quality assured short courses for construction. Those cover a range of areas from lifting operations to small tools to plant, and these are designed to offer upskilling and CPD and additional training for people where the qualification doesn't necessarily fit. We know that people get a qualification, it's a qualification for life, but actually what you need to do is constant training on site in order to get the skills to safely work on site. And we operate a number of courses there. And finally, through our One Awards organisation, our partner organisation up in the Northeast, they're an access qualification organisation, so they offer qualifications giving access to higher education, and they also offer an endorsed course programme. So if you've got a course that you want to be underwritten by an awarding organisation that works just for you, they can work with you to offer those courses. And we have a few other areas as well. We operate a significant international division, with qualifications being offered in the Middle East, in Bahrain. We work in the USA and another number of other areas, and through that we can offer our qualifications internationally. I'm very sorry that Peter is still struggling to hear us. Lisa, if you could just send a message over the chat box just to say that we're recording it, and we'll send this out to Peter, so hopefully you can hear this at a later date. Thank you. So why work with us? Well, we've got a dedicated onboarding team and customer service staff. So we've got a team here in Kings Lynn and also in our office in Sheffield that works very hard to make sure that you can work with us across registration, across systems, can answer any queries. The onboarding team will work closely with you to make sure that we get you set up properly, provide you with the right EQAs, which we employ directly. And as well as that, that onboarding team will make sure that you get the right training for any systems that you need to use, such as our registration systems, any document systems that we have, and we'll provide you with personalized training to make sure that you can use that. And throughout the year, we have webinars like this. We also offer face-to-face events to support CPD. And what we like to do is make sure that you're at hand. So we'll come out to see you. We've got our business development team that will work with you face-to-face. The EQAs will see you face-to-face, as well as those types of road shows where we can come out and bring a group together and work with our sort of like-minded customers to make sure that everybody's happy. And of course, as I say, that training and support, I think that's really important when you're working with us, that we set you up on the systems correctly and we give you the training and support to use those systems correctly. So yeah, work through with that. Morning, Tony. Thanks for joining us. So you've not missed too much, but we'll be recording this and obviously sending out the slides afterwards. So on to logistics. It's very exciting for us. So from August the 2nd, technically August the 1st, but as it's a Sunday, I've put the 2nd, so it's a working day. We'll be offering the Transport Manager CPC qualification, which is fantastic. We're really pleased to get involved with this. We know that OCR have withdrawn reasons, but we wanted to make sure that there was still an opportunity there for people to take this qualification. And we've worked with the Department for Transport to make sure that we've put something together that works. We've redeveloped the qualification. We feel that a more flexible approach is the way forward, and I'll come on to how we work more flexibly with you in the next few slides. But I think it's important to say that we've taken on board any of the comments that people have given us. We've worked with partners to make sure that we're getting the right industry advice to make this qualification the right fit for learners and for centres to offer it. So I'll start off by talking about our Level 3 award in managing road haulage operations. So we've taken the existing qualification and been able to split it out ever slightly. So currently the old OCR qualification had a multiple choice test and then a short answering and case study examination. Well, what we've done is we've split the content out a little bit, and we've managed to put the multiple choice into a Level 3 award for managing road haulage operations, really designed for learners who are taking the first steps into road transport management. Obviously, as it says on the slide, it gives an understanding of operator compliance and driver and vehicle management. And we've been working with the Department for Transport to make sure that it meets the requirements for restricted licence holders. So for centres looking to deliver this range of qualifications, you've got a couple of options. You've got the full CPC, which I'll talk about in a minute, but you've also got a qualification that could be delivered to operators looking to gain that restricted licence requirement. As I say, that's tested via our online platform through multiple choice. And the content for this is included in the Level 3 CPC certificate. And that means that you've got some progression there. So anybody that's been through this Level 3 award to start with would not need to retake the multiple choice element within their CPC because they'll have covered the content within it. So it's almost a stepping stone towards a full CPC, and allows for career progression, which we think is really important as an organisation. We're all about providing people with lifelong learning and an opportunity to progress throughout their career. So if we talk about the CPC, which I think is probably the main reason for everybody joining, obviously it meets the requirements of the Department for Transport. It's mapped to the EC regulations, which, as you know, have been brought into UK law since Brexit. We've written them with partners in the logistics industry, people who've worked in transport management for many years, and to make sure that content is as relevant as possible and the questioning is relevant. We've updated the content ever so slightly. One of the areas that Department for Transport and the Traffic Commissioners was they felt the current syllabus didn't necessarily cover some of the areas that they had concerns about in full. And so you can see, so identifying and tackling missing mileage and driving without a card, PMI sheets, brake tests, and driver detectable defects. These are the things that they're seeing when they are doing investigations, and they feel that there are areas that are not being fully covered until now. So we've added content in around those to make sure that we're covering the relevant issues of the day, and we'll continue to do that. So in actual fact, you know, we won't just launch this qualification, we will regularly review, we'll work with the Department of Transport and the Transport Commissioners to make sure that the qualification remains relevant and that we're testing and examining the areas that they really want to hear about. And as I said before, it includes all of that content from the Level 3 award. So there is, you know, there is a stepping stone into, so it includes a multiple choice. From an examination point of view, as stated previously, the initial part is tested by multiple choice. And we also have case study and short answer questions, as you'd expect to see, and we use our testing platform for that, which I'll talk about. The written papers split into two parts. There's a national part, Part A, and an international part, Part B, to cover all of the requirements of the regulations. But we've broken those down to allow a short 30-minute break between papers. This will give your candidates a chance for a coffee, a leg stretch, refresh their minds, and actually get themselves focused for the next session of the exam. So we feel that by breaking the main written paper down ever so slightly, it just is going to help your learners and yourselves to make sure that everybody's got the best chance of being in the right mindset to pass these examinations. Part A obviously includes reading time, so we've put 15 minutes in. And I suppose probably one of the key things and the messages we want to talk about today is the fact that we can deliver this year round. I know currently there've been 4 exam windows per year, but by using a bank of questions and our test platform system, whereby the test platform will offer different papers to different candidates, we can allow you access year round. So you can almost have roll-on, roll-off courses. The examinations could be taken at a time that suits you and your candidates. So that can be 7 days a week, and you can deliver those tests at weekends or in an evening if that's how you'd prefer. As long as the papers are invigilated correctly and through our systems, and we'll talk about that, that's not a problem for us. So suddenly you're moving to a much more flexible approach where you can deliver training at a time that suits your learner and the employers that you work with. And as a result of using this online technology, we expect to see faster results and certification. The multiple choice test is marked instantly by our test platform, and an invigilator can see the result of that multiple choice test straight away, which is great. The written papers using our platform will need to go away and be marked, but because we're moving things around electronically and not relying on the post and lots of toing and froing and sharing in that way, we expect to reduce that turnaround time. So we'll expect to be able to get you the results of any written tests within 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the very most. So the turnaround for your candidates and certification will be much quicker as a result of using these platforms, which we're very pleased about. And we think this is very different to any other offer that people have seen for this qualification. So I'm just going to show you very quickly the qualification specification, and we'll send out the presentation, which will include a link to the full qualification spec that you can go through in your own time. So if I open this up, I'm hoping that we can share that on the screen. Has that appeared?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah. So I may need to come out and share this. Hold on 1 second. Thank you. Okay, that doesn't seem to have worked. Is that shown? Can you see that now?
But not the full image on the front cover.
I think some of the images may have dropped off this. It's a long and lengthy document that Lisa's put together, which is fantastic. Lisa, did you want to say anything about this?
Thanks for that, Chris. We've taken the regulations and the current setup from the OCR spec. And what we've done is we've broken it down into individual units covering key parts of the regulation. Chris, can you scroll through into the unit content? And what we've done is for each key part of the regulations, we've turned it into a learning outcome with associated criteria. And it's this criteria that learners would be assessed against. You can keep scrolling down, Chris. So the idea with turning the content into the individual units, it makes it a much more flexible delivery option for centres. Some centres, some employers will be happy to send their colleagues off for a fortnight's block learning with the assessments at the end. Some people, it doesn't quite work like that. It's not suitable. This could be delivered as a day release through college, evening classes, and so on. And with the finite the smaller chunks of learning, it makes it much more attainable for people and more easily assimilated, I believe, for learners to get to grips with the qualification and the content. And each unit, if you can scroll down to the end of that unit, please, Chris, each unit has been fully mapped into the regulations. And there's a table at the end of each unit, which Chris is just about to show you there, which will show you exactly how our learning outcomes map onto the regulations that you'll all be familiar with. So you'll be able to see how by doing this qualification, learners will be picking up all the knowledge that they need to cover everything that's set out in Annex 1. And for the multiple choices qualification, all the learning in the first 3 units covers everything that you would need that would be required by anybody looking to hold a restricted license. Going on into the later units 4 to 7, looks at all the learning and knowledge that somebody would need delivering or working nationally with national road transport undertakings, and the assessments that we have that cover and focus very firmly on the national operation side of things. Towards the end of the qualification, units 8 to 10 cover the international knowledge and undertaking that people will need if they're looking to take their business and operate it in the EU and other member states. So with the assessment we have for the written paper, we have a case study with some short answer questions that cover the national operation undertakings, and then we have a shorter paper with just written questions that cover the international aspects of the course. I think that really sums it up in a nutshell, Chris. I think you covered the bulk of it.
That's great. Thanks, Lisa. Right, I shall try and go back to the presentation now. So bear with me. Hopefully this will reappear. Excellent stuff. Can everybody see that? Okay, hopefully that's there now for you. Okay, so AD unfortunately is unable to actually speak through this webinar this morning. So I'm going to attempt to show a short video of how the test platform works, of how it's going to work for entering those longer form answers and the written questions. So if you just bear with me 1 second, I'll see if I can share this.
This is a short demonstration on completing our online functional skills English reading exams. Once you are set up, read the instructions and click Start Test. Your exam will be laid out with the question and answer sheet on the left-hand side and supporting documents on the right-hand side. There may be multiple documents for you to go through. You can increase the size of either sheet by dragging the partition in the middle. For each question, you have a series of tools available on your answer sheet. Once you have typed your answer, click Next at the bottom of the page. At the top of the page, you'll see how much time you have remaining to complete this section of the exam. At the bottom of the page, you'll see circles that indicate how many questions you have. You can move through the questions by clicking on the circles or by clicking Next on the bottom right-hand side. If you want to return to a question, you can click Previous on the opposite side. You can flag a question if you want to return to it later by clicking the flag in the top right-hand corner. Once you are happy you've completed the test, click Finish at the top of the page. You can see from the overview if you still have any questions that need answering or questions that are still flagged. If so, click Return to Assessment. You can review these questions by clicking Assessment Info on the left-hand side. If you click Unanswered, you can see which questions still need completing. You can also see which questions are still flagged, and go back to these questions and unflag them. Once you are finished, click Finish, and then click Finish Assessment.
So moving on to another important element, obviously the pricing. So the level 3 award in managing road haulage operations is £51, and the level 3 certificate CPC is going to be £72, and that includes both the multiple choice and the case study and short answer papers. What we're saying on the test is that on the multiple choice element, we'll offer a resit free of charge. Understandably, on the case study and the short answer question, we can't offer that. So there'll be any resits will be chargeable on that. But because of this flexibility, it gives us the opportunity to retake at a time that suits the candidate. Regarding our centre fees, if you're not already a centre, there is an application fee of £250. And that's non-refundable. That's based on the application. That's putting everything through the process. And once approved, we'll charge another fee of £350, and your annual fee is £500. But I think when you look at the competitive nature of the qualification price, hopefully that will definitely balance out any issues that you might perceive with centre application and approval fees, because actually, we believe that we've got this at a much more reasonable price than a number of our competitors, and we think this is the right price that will work for us as an organisation. So, yeah, it's that's the full qualification price in there. In order to offer the qualifications, so we've got 3 areas here. So you can contact your business development manager if you're an existing centre, and my colleagues Cliff and Michelle will be looking after any new centres that are looking to come on board. We've got a Become a Centre inquiry form that you just fill in and send through to us, and we'll contact you straight away. And obviously, we've got much more detail about NOCN and the other products that we offer, and course specifications will be on the website. And we've got a dedicated page for logistics and Transport Manager CPC that hopefully will give you any further details that you need, and obviously can be supported by the rest of the team. I think that's probably about it for now. I will see just quickly if I can get this YouTube video to work and see if that works. So if you just bear with me for 1 second, please. Can everybody see this now?
Yep, you can see it.
Right.
This is a short
How about the
demonstration
sound?
on complete
Yep, that was
online
Thanks,
functional
Ray.
skills English reading exams. Once you are set up, read the instructions and click Start Test. Your exam will be laid out with the question and answer sheet on the left-hand side and supporting documents on the right-hand side. There may be multiple documents for you to go through. You can increase the size of either sheet by dragging the partition in the middle. For each question, you have a series of tools available on your answer sheet. Once you have typed your answer, click Next at the bottom of the page. At the top of the page, you'll see how much time you have remaining to complete this section of the exam. At the bottom of the page, you will see circles that indicate how many questions you have. You can move through the questions by clicking on the circles or by clicking Next on the bottom right-hand side. If you want to return to a question, you can click Previous on the opposite side. You can flag a question if you want to return to it later by clicking the flag in the top right-hand corner. Once you are happy you've completed the test, click Finish at the top of the page. You can see from the overview if you still have any questions that need answering or questions that are still flagged. If so, click Return to Assessment. You can review these questions by clicking Assessment Info on the left-hand side. If you click Unanswered, you can see which questions still need completing. You can also see which questions are still flagged, and go back to these questions and unflag them. Once you are finished, click Finish, and then click Finish Assessment.
Okay, thanks, folks. Hopefully that sort of gives you a little bit of an idea about how the test platform is going to work. What I'd say on that, of course, is that we will obviously provide any training that's necessary. We'll be providing supporting videos, and in addition to that, there'll be mock exams available for the multiple choice that'll be relevant to the topic. So I think that's really important to say that for any learners that are going to be using this test platform, they'll have the ability to go on and trial the platform before they actually go in and do the final test and examination, which will familiarise them with the process. Has anybody got any questions? Hopefully, if you've got any questions, we can pop them into the chat box. We've got a few minutes now, so we can certainly answer on that one. I'm not sure I can let you speak, Tony, but let me see. Hang on. Let me just see if I can do anything on here. Ah, here we are. Hopefully, I've clicked on allow mic. Tony, can you hear me? Okay.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, the level 3 award, will that be on LARS? Will it be fundable potentially?
So I mean, obviously they're all Ofqual regulated. Given the state of funding at the moment, I don't expect them to be immediately fundable. I think it will be probably a full cost option, but you may be able to get it funded through sort of local or adult education budget funding. We'll certainly make it available for that, but I wouldn't expect it to automatically draw down funding, unfortunately.
No, but it'll be on LARS. It'll be potentially fundable. Potentially,
yeah, absolutely, yes. We'll submit it so that if it's accepted by the funding bodies, that it will be available for funding. We try to make sure that we do that with all the quals. But as you know, there's a moratorium around funding new qualifications at the moment, which is making it tricky for us to get stuff added.
That's great, thanks.
No problem. Has anybody else got any questions they'd like to ask at this stage, or anything that you'd like me to cover again that you'd like me to clarify? No? Okay, so hopefully at this stage, this has been useful for you. Obviously, we'll send the slides out afterwards and a copy of the recording so that you can share that with others if you like. All of these will be added to the website, and we'll send a link so that you've got that there. We'll have a dedicated area, as I say, for logistics and transport management for you to go to. And please, yeah, drop that expression of interest through to us. I'll also make sure that we share our contact details. So if people have got any questions afterwards they'd like to ask, then we'll be more than happy to answer those. But thank you very much for your time and joining us today. Apologies for the slight technical hitch with the YouTube video. I think we've probably sussed out how to do it in the future. This is the first time we've used Teams as a webinar platform. So thank you for being our guinea pigs. Very much appreciate your patience on this. And we look forward to working with you soon. It's exciting, and this is the very start of a suite of logistics products that we look to have available. So it won't just be qualifications. We're going to be looking at CPD and upskilling courses that wrap around these products to make sure that we're offering the industry as much support as possible. And we're very excited that we've got this coming up. Lisa, have you got anything to say before we finish? So.
No, nothing for me. Just look forward to seeing people use the quals.
Brilliant stuff. Excellent. So thank you for your time today. We'll be running this again, I think, probably in August. But yes, we look forward to hearing from you shortly. Good days, and manage to stay as cool and calm as possible in this glorious weather. Thank you.